Are there any concerns about, one, maybe his slow start to the season, and two, his injuries?
I think the slow start's probably a little bit more of a concern than the injury. So O'Reilly's been a pretty healthy player for the most part in his career. The whole team was off for the first portion of this season. It has been something of a changing of the guard going to the younger players, the Thomas's, Kairos. But O'Reilly's still a key piece, man. And he has scored twice since coming back from his injury. He's looked good in those games. It's just, where is he going to fit in for a club? I mean, O'Reilly's a proven second line center. I mean, I look at
Mhm.
Minnesota and go, they need this guy, right? They need scoring. They need somebody who plays hard, who can win battles. To me, that's Ryan O'Reilly. He's a leader. All of that figures in. But for St. Louis, like, I'm sure that they'd love to keep him. It's just that you've got this great tradable asset. There's no doubt that O'Reilly, for me, would get a nice return on it. And will that team that gets him want to keep him around? Is it a shorter term deal? St. Louis would probably do that, not longer term. So I think O'Reilly is still plenty capable of another cup run for the team. He's 32 years old. He has put a lot of miles on his body, though. He's been in the NHL pretty much from the get go at 20. So
Yeah.
I'd say there's some concern there. But man, if you're asking for a team that needs help at the center ice position, to me, he's probably the best out there at this stage, especially knowing that Taves is once again out of the lineup for the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah, and actually the Jonathan Taves thing, like if Taves was having a vintage Taves kind of season, then the market might almost be a little bit more down for O'Reilly because teams would say, hey, I'm not paying your price, St. Louis. I'm just going to go get Jonathan Taves. Taves in the illness, Taves in his struggles as well. Frank had him outside of the top 10 on his trade targets list on yesterday's show. So I think for O'Reilly, he kind of really is that standalone option if you're looking for a good defensive center who has been through a Stanley Cup run before. And I think there's a lot of teams that would value that experience. You mentioned Minnesota. A guy like Brian Hartman's been struggling for them. They would probably love to have that extra piece down the middle. I think the Carolina Hurricanes are in the same
Mhm.
boat. Do they trust Jesperi Kotkaniemi for a playoff run to be their number two center? I don't think so. And if you were to look at, swapping Kotkaniemi, moving him down the lineup, and then going O'Reilly, man, Aho, O'Reilly, Jordan Stahl